It's about a bombing raid I was on in 1944 out of England to Germany and to a place called Friedrichshafen. It sits on the Lake Constance. I'll take you right to the bombing run. There were 4 squadrons locked together, flown together, flying together. And we were approaching the target. Our bomb bay doors were open. And the anti-aircraft started to really get heavy. And it was bouncing all over the place. And the B-17 in front of me was no more than 20 to 25 feet ahead of us. And as I was saying, the bomb bay doors were open. And I was looking at the tail gunner who had taken his gloves off to warm his hands up somehow. And the next thing I saw was a split at the top of their aircraft, which became an explosion. They had taken a hit from the anti-aircraft right in their bomb bay, and we were instantly blown backwards ourselves, and it went into a tight spin, and we were covered with all of their gasoline and whatever. And as I say, I was thrown backwards, and the bombardier was too. And the two of us, I thought I had my parachute with me, handy, and apparently not, but he had his parachute on, and he was lying on the escape hatch, pulling at it, but nothing was happening, and figured into his chute so the two of us would go out with one parachute. Everything happened so fast that within seconds the centrifugal force was such that we couldn't move. I mean, we were pinned right to the floor of the aircraft. And unbelievably, as it may seem, the pilot was able to pull us out of the spin and level off at 5,000 feet, at which time the centrifugal force was gone and we were able to move about. And when I put my headset back on again, the tail gunner and the waist gunner were both yelling that the Nazis were coming after us. The waist gunner said, "Here come the whole damn Luftwaffe." But as it turned out, we were still smoking from the debris that we caught. And they had obviously assumed that we were still going down, so they didn't bother with us. They were still hitting the group up above. So that's the closest thing I've ever had to losing a life, you know.
So could you just explain a little bit what it was like to be in that split-second moment where you didn't know if you were going to live or die? I mean, what does that feel like?
Well, you can't even rationalize what's happening because it's all happening so fast. Mm-hmm. So you react as though you had fallen down. It means you have to get up, or you don't think anything but how you have to treat things, in steps.
Right.
And it wasn't long before, I'd say, a half a minute to a minute, that we were then pinned to the floor because of centrifugal force. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, maybe it was the training, but we weren't all shaken up. Mm-hmm. You'd think we'd be a bundle of nerves, but yeah. We came out of it. Well, being in a flying position again, you know, with your engines working and so on, it was a relief.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, the whole thing was 3 minutes, you know,
Right.
from start to finish, to where we could be on our own again.
So did it seem like every decision that you made from the time that the plane in front of you got hit, after that, every decision that you made was really important?
Well, it was as though you were thrown off a building into the water or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You function without really knowing if you're doing this, that, or the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just normal reactions to.
Right.
You're just responding to just survival mechanism that you have. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.